Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where we break down every shakeup, rumor, and blockbuster possibility that could redefine the purple and gold. Today, we're diving into the hottest speculation swirling around the franchise. Could the Los Angeles Lakers actually part ways with LeBron James this summer, using his $97 million player option as the catalyst, and pivot to an entirely new front-court construction around Luka Doncic and a fresh, championship-caliber center? LeBron James holds a player option worth roughly $97 million for 2025 to 26, a figure that would absorb nearly half of the Lakers' total cap space. According to recent reports, committing that kind of payroll could handcuff the front office, limiting their ability to chase elite free agents or engage in seismic trades. Even after deciding which role players to re-sign, LA projects fewer than $40 million in available cap space if LeBron opts in. That simply isn't enough to pursue the league's premier shot-blocking centers or to supplement Luka with a true third star. Meanwhile, the Lakers have long coveted Walker Kessler, the all-rookie defensive anchor in New Orleans. Sources confirm. The Lakers kicked the tires on the Pelicans' 7'1" rookie but were firmly rebuffed. New Orleans sees him as untouchable. With Kessler off the table, LA scouts have turned their attention to other high-end options. Bam Adebayo, whose all-star resume comes with a mega deal Miami likely won't move. John Collins, a younger stretch five with upside but a hefty price tag from Atlanta, and Nick Claxton, a defensive powerhouse whose asking price still hovers around $20 million per season. None of these targets can be acquired cheaply, especially if LeBron's contract remains on the books. This has led to an unthinkable theory. The Lakers could actually decline to bring LeBron back in order to free up the cap room needed to pursue one of these elite big men. LeBron's contract alone, if declined, would generate nearly $50 million in breathing room, enough for two max salary contributors plus role players. That kind of flexibility could allow Rob Pelinka to swing for the fences, perhaps packaging, expiring deals and draft picks to land a defensive stalwart like Claxton, or even make a play for Giannis Antetokounmpo on the buyout market. Trading LeBron's salary for a star center might feel sacrilegious to some, but the Lakers' first-round playoff exit exposed glaring weaknesses. No rim protector, thin wing depth, and an over-reliance on heroics. Luka Doncic, at 26, is arguably in the prime of his career, averaging 30-plus points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. By reallocating LeBron's salary toward surrounding Luka with the necessary pieces, size, rim protection, playmaking, LA could construct a roster built for the modern NBA. A post-LeBron blueprint might resemble a rebuild light, keep core veterans, insert youth and flexibility, and let Luka blossom. The mid-level exception could bring in a defensive wing. The trade market could deliver a rim-finishing center, and draft equity, holding picks 17 and 28, gives the front office ammunition for further upgrades. Yet the emotional stakes are enormous. Season ticket holders, having supported the team through LeBron's arrival and 2 finals appearances in 4 years, would react with a mix of outrage and resignation. Critics would cry betrayal, while optimists would point to the necessity of bold roster construction in 2025. Rob Pelinka would have to balance revenue impact against basketball pragmatism. Can the Lakers remain a must-see attraction without their living icon? The decision doesn't just affect on-court talent. It ripples through merchandising, sponsorships, and the global brand that LeBron has helped build in Los Angeles. Ultimately, LeBron's legacy is secure. He doesn't need another Lakers banner to cement his Hall of Fame resume. By opting out, he preserves agency over his final NBA chapters, whether that leads him to Miami, back to Cleveland for a Shakespearean homecoming, or a farewell tour that spans multiple cities. For the Lakers, the question remains, is it worth holding on to the king at tremendous financial cost, or is it time to let the next generation rise, starting with Luka and a new front-court anchor? This summer's moves will answer that question, and every whisper, leak, and front office maneuver will be magnified. Stay tuned to Lakers News Fan Report as we track every development in this seismic saga. Rumors are swirling that the Los Angeles Lakers, fresh off a disappointing first-round exit at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves, are seriously considering a seismic roster shakeup this summer, one that could even include parting ways with LeBron James. That possibility may sound unthinkable, but as front offices across the league scramble to retool around Luka Doncic's arrival, the Lakers' brass has been exploring every avenue to maximize the two-superstar core and shore up their glaring lack of size at center. According to Sportskeeda insider Daniel Shirey, the Purple and Gold are eyeing a $97 million center option, an out-of-reach target for many, but one the Lakers' deep pockets could conceivably pursue, to anchor the paint next to Doncic, and finally give LeBron the complementary big man he needs for a legitimate title push. Imagine, for a moment, the dramatic scene in Rob Pelinka's office. Trade rumors of Walker Kessler, the all-star big man from Utah, have tantalized Lakers fans for weeks, yet the Jazz's lofty asking price, multiple first-round picks, promising. Young wings such as Cam Reddish and an expiring contract or two has kept that deal on ice. Instead, whispers have begun to surface about an alternative target, one whose resume combines rim protection, interior scoring, and pick-and-pop shooting, a player whose contract carries enough guaranteed money to demand the highest degree of cap creativity, but whose presence could fundamentally alter Los Angeles's championship calculus. With the salary cap set to rise only modestly, committing $97 million over 4 years to a premier center might seem bold, even reckless. But when weighed against the prospect of another early playoff flameout, such a move could be justified as the necessary gamble. This blockbuster scenario dovetails with Pelinka's recent comments about the Lakers' offseason priorities. He publicly acknowledged that, beyond extending LeBron and hand-feeding Luka the basketball, the franchise's most urgent need is size. A true big who can protect the rim, secure offensive rebounds, and stretch the defense with a reliable, mid-range jumper. In Game 5 against Minnesota, the Lakers were out-rebounded 54-37, and without a legitimate center to contest shots, they allowed 18 offensive boards and 16 second-chance points. That loss crystallized for Pelinka and Head coach J.J. Redick that no amount of perimeter talent or payroll tinkering will compensate for an interior deficiency. Now, with the bargain bin of free agent centers offering limited upside, think 30-year-old veterans who excelled once in smaller markets, the Lakers are compelled to aim high. Reports suggest that the Lakers' front office has quietly initiated exploratory conversations with agents and rival executives. While no team is willing to openly discuss active trade talks, sources indicate that LA is gauging interest in packaging a package anchored by Max Christie's expiring salary, a protected future first-round pick swap, and potentially D'Angelo Russell's contract to land this elite center. Such a deal would require the Lakers to sacrifice draft capital and perimeter depth, testing the franchise's long-term planning versus its urgent desire to win now. Yet insiders speculate that Pelinka, ever the dealmaker, is willing to part with assets if it means surrounding Doncic and LeBron with the best possible supporting cast. Critics of this aggressive approach argue that the Lakers would be mortgaging their future for a one-year rental. After all, if health or fit issues limit the center's availability, the organization could be left without the cap flexibility to pursue other upgrades. Moreover, sacrificing role players who contributed defensively and on the glass in 2025, players like Rui Hachimura or Damian Jones, might leave the bench brittle and ill-equipped to withstand another long playoff grind. And what of the locker room implications? LeBron, the architect of past super teams, has built his legacy on loyal teammates and mutual respect. Executing a franchise-altering trade that pushes Russell or other veterans out the door could test the delicate chemistry that is anchored in LA for 2 decades. Still, the Lakers' brass seems unfazed by such concerns. From the moment they acquired Luka, they effectively declared that everything else was secondary. In that light, sacrificing role players and draft assets to secure a true center of the highest caliber becomes a logical extension of the franchise's all-in philosophy. Beyond the tangible on-court benefits, contests at the rim, pick-and-roll versatility, offensive spacing, the psychological signal such a trade would send is equally potent. It would proclaim to the league that the Lakers remain the premier destination for star talent, willing to do whatever it takes to assemble a championship roster around its cornerstones. If you're as intrigued by these blockbuster possibilities as we are, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report for our breaking coverage of every twist in this summer's saga. Turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when the Lakers make their next monumental move. The moment the trade moratorium lifts, you can bet every front office phone will be ringing. Rob Pelinka and his lieutenants will gather in the draft room, cap sheets spread across the table, examining every permutation. How much salary can we absorb? Which draft picks can we afford to part with? Can we find a third team to help offset the financial burden and bring back complementary pieces? The Lakers' war room is no stranger to complex multi-team negotiations. It's the playground where Pelinka has thrived. But this time, the stakes are higher than ever. Consider the cap gymnastics that lie ahead. Committing up to $97 million over 4 years to a premier center would require creative use of trade exceptions, the mid-level exception, and possibly pushing expiring contracts onto other teams. Could they flip Austin Reeves' extension decision into trade fodder? Might they dangle Cam Reddish and his promising two-way skill set in a sign-and-trade? Even lesser-known rotation players with non-guaranteed salaries become valuable here. The more movable contracts, the more cap space to sweeten the deal. And remember, every dollar spent on a new center is a dollar not available for role players or future extensions for Luka and LeBron. The calculus is brutal, but if the prize is genuine title contention, the Lakers appear ready to pay it. Every scenario hinges on one question. Can Pelinka extract maximum value from his assets without gutting the roster? Trade examples this past season have shown that teams can acquire all-star talent without sacrificing draft capital. See the Heat's deal for Bam Adebayo or Dallas's acquisition of Kyrie Irving. Those deals required creative matching of contracts and picks, plus a willingness to bet on upside. The Lakers have the 2 max contracts that every team wants, those of LeBron James and Luka Doncic, and they possess 2 unprotected first-round picks that could command a king's ransom. But are those assets expendable? Or will Pelinka insist on retaining at least 1 lottery pick to maintain long-term flexibility? Beyond the X's and O's, this trade has human dimensions. The new center, let's call him Big X until his name is revealed, will step into a bright purple and gold spotlight. He'll be tasked not only with altering opponents' shots and corralling rebounds, but also with embracing Lakers culture, the relentless community outreach, the nightly media obligations, and the immense expectations of Hollywood's spotlight. LeBron's leadership becomes crucial here. He must extend a hand, integrate this newcomer into the veteran core, and help him navigate the pressure cooker of Laker life. If divine providence smiled on this franchise, perhaps LeBron will even celebrate his final passing of title rings to a player who embodies grit and selflessness. On the flip side, should the deal collapse, Lakers fans will exhale in relief or frustration, depending on their appetite for risk. If Pelinka balks at surrendering too much capital, he may pivot to Plan B, targeting a cheaper free agent center or pursuing a mid-tier trade for someone like Mason Plumlee or Thomas Bryant. Those options lack the star power but carry lower long-term commitments. Again, it's a balancing act between one-and-done desperation and sustainable contention. As training camp approaches, every practice, every open workout, and every preseason exhibition will take on greater significance. Will Big X gel with the Lakers in the Summer League? Will his pick-and-pop proficiency unlock new facets of J.J. Redick's offense? Can he withstand the wear and tear of NBA playoffs, exerting his monstrous 7-1 frame against the league's most physical bigs? Only real minutes and real games can answer those questions. Until then, we can only indulge in the delicious what-ifs. Thanks for sticking with us through this deep dive into Los Angeles' most audacious off-season scenario yet. Don't forget to leave your predictions in the comments below. Will the Lakers secure their $97 million center and finally give LeBron and Luka the front line they deserve? Or will they hold pat and chart a different path? Hit like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more exclusive Lakers analysis, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update from Lakers News Fan Report. Until next time, stay savvy, stay passionate, and let the summer blockbuster trades begin.